The second part of Season 2 in Battlefield 6 has started. It's called Nightfall. We're getting a new map as well as a limited time mode where it's seriously dark. In this video we're focusing on the first impression of Hagental, the new map, and the Nightfall mode itself. I've also already unlocked the secondary and I played it a bit, so there's the first impression of that too. The rest will follow in the next video. First, regarding the new map, Hagental Base. It reminds me a lot of Operation Locker from back in the days, so fans of, let's say, Metro or Locker in Battlefield 4 or Underground in Battlefield 5, they are definitely going to have fun here, because it's exactly that kind of CQC mess, as I like to call it. I actually feared it would be just like Metro. I don't like that map. Sorry, but to each their own, as they say, right? But it's actually more like Operation Locker, I think. There are way more flanking rounds than you might think at first. Some of them you actually have to blow open yourself, which is pretty cool and gives the whole thing a bit more depth. It's not quite as linear as feared. You can go through this hallway or around the main corridor or even through the sewers and so on. There's a ton of cover everywhere, so my first impression, much better than expected, I must say. But it is and remains close quarters. There are no vehicles, obviously. That would be difficult down in the bunker. I feel like they really made sure there are enough ways around the main corridor. For example, at Objective C in Conquest, there's a really big tunnel where you can actually have some longer engagement distances, where an SMG or a shotgun isn't actually that practical. I've even seen drones flying around in there. So there's definitely plenty of space, and I'm really glad about that. That's my first impression of the map. You have to find your way around the whole maze first, of course. It's not as bad as that damn map from Delta Force, if anybody remembers that. And everything looks incredibly good again. That's a point that just has to be made. The design, the vibe, the atmosphere they've created is really nice. It's cool, it's fun, it's a bit gritty, looks like war, sparks are flying everywhere, pieces of the wall are blown out, and everything is a bit messy. They've created a really great mood there. Definitely a plus for the map, I have to say. If you love close quarters, you'll have a blast here. The other question is now the right time to release a close quarters map in Battlefield 6? You can certainly argue about that. Let's talk about Nightfall. That's a special limited time mode. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's pitch black, mind you, not everywhere on the map, but in most parts. There are still lit areas on the map, which provides some cool variety. For a limited time mode, I have to say I enjoyed the time I spent playing it. When it gets pitch black, you put on your night vision goggles. You can think of that like that smoke mechanic we had in Contaminated. That means you don't have it available infinitely. The battery runs out, so to speak. There are charges you can get from a support player, and then you have the NVG for a while again. Since this mode is currently only available on smaller modes, except Gauntlet, which I haven't played yet, meaning Team Deathmatch, Squad Deathmatch, Domination and so on, it usually happened that I died before the battery ran out. However, this night thing really changes how you play Battlefield 6. There are a few combinations that work quite well for me. First, the flashlight. It blinds people even more, and if you're using NVGs, you can imagine what happens when someone shines a flashlight in your face. It's basically the counter to night vision. On the other hand, if you use a thermal scope, it cancels out that light a bit. So if you have your NVGs on and enter a very brightly lit room, or someone looks at you with a flashlight, you see much better through the thermal scope than with a normal optic and NVGs. So it's a bit of, well, you could call it rock, paper, scissors, a counter for everything. What worked really well for me was actually thermal scope plus flashlight. Because you notice immediately how confused people are. They can't really track you when you have the flashlight and aim at them. That worked pretty well. NVGs work anyway, obviously, and thermal plus night vision goggle worked as well. Smoke works great too, both in Conquest and these smaller modes. A lot of smoke is being thrown, a lot of grenades, but I like that it's not as spammy as on some other choke point maps we had in Battlefield. Argonne Forest in Battlefield 1 comes to mind. Yeah, that was special at times. There aren't quite as many grenades here. Like I said, there's a bit more space. You can still hit choke points, definitely. The map isn't free of them, obviously, but it's not as bad as I feared. Lasers are obviously extremely noticeable in this Nightfall mode because when it's dark, they shine even brighter. You really have to think twice about putting one on your weapon. Then I was able to test a secondary, the VZ61. Many might know it as the Scorpion from other games. You have to deal 300 damage with secondary weapons to unlock it. That goes super fast. The new SMG only comes at the end of this additional battle pass at level 11. I don't have that yet, but this secondary could be really fun for me. It's a fully automatic weapon, though it only has 10 bullets at the start, which is a bit low, of course, but the thing is fun. I could see it being a great sniper secondary to have something full auto for those close quarter fights. What I noticed though, and I only played it briefly for these clips, is that leveling went really fast. I hit level 12 in no time, which is something they mentioned in the update, that weapon leveling is much faster now. It was a huge update. If you're interested in the patch notes, go check them out online. A ton of stuff was changed. Plus, the netcode is supposed to be improved. To what extent it's actually better is something that needs testing. On a close quarter map in a short amount of time, it wasn't really verifiable if it's much better than before, dying behind cover and so on. We can definitely look at that later in another video. It felt crisp, I have to say, but as I said, I can't really give a final verdict in this video yet. Have you played it? The map has been available since some time now. Of course, many people have played it, but I wanted to give you my opinion on it. Write in the comments what you think of it, whether you would have to prefer a larger map, or if you're cool with this, if you were a fan of Locker, or if you're just happy to have this kind of map back in Battlefield 6. My first impression is actually more positive than I expected, because I'm not as big a fan of Locker and Metro as many others are. I prefer the larger maps. Still, I'm really enjoying this map and will definitely spend some more time on it, I'd say. If you liked the video, leave a like. That's always good. Leave a comment. That's even better for the algorithm. Click here so you can keep watching more of my videos following this one. Otherwise, there's always more Battlefield 6 content coming. You know what to do. You're all grown up and experienced when it comes to the YouTube game. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see us in the next video. Bye!